to call to order this regular city council meeting for Monday, November 17th, 2025. I'd like to remind the audience that this meeting is being recorded and or taped. I'd like to note that commissioners are present with Commissioner Schmidt on the phone. Before we begin each meeting, we start with an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight Commissioner Schmidt will lead us in prayer. Commissioner Myers will lead us in prayer. I apologize.
Okay. If you'd bow with me. Gracious and loving God, we thank you for this beautiful fall day you've given us. We ask that this evening you be with us, give these commissioners who have the privilege of serving wisdom and guidance to make decisions that are pleasing to you and pleasing to the citizens of Pratt. We ask that you continue to bless this city and all those that live and work here. And we ask that you especially be with our first responders and all those that work for the city that are put in harm's way, that we just appreciate and you keep them safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Doug. All right, before we begin, we have to approve the agenda for tonight. Is there any additions, takeaways that we need to do or anything like that? Okay, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda for Monday, November 17th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda for Monday, November 17th. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Agenda is approved. All right. The minutes, November 3rd, 2025 regular meeting and November 6th, 2025 special call meeting. I do know, of course, that we do need to make a correction from the November the 6th, 2025 special call meeting. In that meeting, I made a motion and we, of course, approved of it for the ordinance 2518, which is, of course, the franchise fee, and it should have been 2519. Does that suffice there, Cody?
Yeah, just so it'll be in the minutes for today, but the minutes themselves correctly states 2119.
Okay.
Is that what you want? Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, so do I just need to say, just make it, so am I good on what I just said, though?
You just make clear, you misspoke.
Yeah,
In
I
the meeting. You
misspoke.
said 2518, it was labeled 2519, and that's how the minutes were.
Okay. So, again, just to clarify again, before we make that motion, just to clarify, I misspoke on that special call meeting and where I made the motion. The ordinance was 2518, should have been 2519. So, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve November the 3rd, 2025 regular meeting and November 6th, 2025 special call meeting with the correction of my misspoken words from the special call meeting.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from November the 3rd and November the 6th as presented and with corrections. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. On to business 6.1, discussion and or approval of obsolete equipment sale, municipal building balcony chairs. Ms. Tiffany Riley.
Thank you. As part of our ongoing efforts to renovate the municipal building, first of all, let me let you know that the curtains are going in currently this week. We had a little hiccup. Start over? Okay. I just wanted to update you that the curtains are going in this week. There was a little hiccup, but I was already over there and they are starting the process of taking down the old curtains and the new ones should be going in and they should all be done by the end of the week. So if you want to go peek this week, there is activity going on over there. I have seen the curtains. They're gorgeous. It's going to be a really nice upgrade. So as part of that process, we moved some of the wooden chairs in the balcony to make space for the lift and the ladders as they were moving up there so we could clean. And we started rethinking the process of we need to get rid of these chairs so that we can get some usable chairs. So my presentation tonight is just kind of information seeking, since I don't know how this process would work. Some ideas on what we could do with the chairs, kind of find out how this process works. We think we have 660, probably 600 sellable chairs. There's probably at least 60 that are not in great shape. Our thought is we could sell them individually. We could sell them in rows. They come in rows of 13, then they'd have the nice iron ends. You can break them down into sections of 2, 4. I don't think a single one would stand. It needs at least 2. But there's options of how to do it. I've been researching different things. We could post them online just for sale, and get rid of them that way. I've seen a lot over years for sale at like vendor fairs, and people will purchase them there. There's 2 vendor fairs going on in the municipal building in the next month. I could set up a booth and sell them there. We talked about having an auction of some sort during the New Year's Eve party, and seeing if people wanted to make an end of year donation to own a piece of Pratt history, own a piece of municipal building. How we do that as a fundraiser so that I can put the money back towards replacing them to something upstairs. Pricing wise, I've looked all over. I've found a lot online for sale for around $200 a chair. I've found more locally $40 to $60 a chair. Of course, if it's a donation, and if it means something to your heart because you're a Pratt resident and you want to own part of that, we might get more for them. You know, the other option is that we contact just a recycled iron of them. That kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but that could be an option. I don't know what that's worth. I just started researching that part today, the iron. So I'm just looking for some guidance on how I can go about, if I can go about trying to sell them, how I can do that, where I go from here.
Is there a website or a group of cities or places that might be that would have a facility that might be interested in them that you could post it on? I haven't found anything I've been looking for. I have found some warehouses. They seem to be pretty far away, like Illinois, Idaho, that they've got warehouses, but you have to get it to them somehow. And so then we put towards, I think our best option is something local, where local here to Wichita, people that just want to come and grab, a row for themselves, or grab 4 or 6 for their porch or their basement or whatever, so that we're not accruing a lot of expense and not knowing what we're going to get back for them.
So, Jeanette, one of the issues is that the chairs are from 1929, and humans in 1929 were of a different size than they typically are today. And so when we go and sit in the chairs, it's a pretty tight fit for all of us, and some of us can't sit in the chairs. So I think that the nostalgia factor of that being a part of the history of the municipal building is a pretty big factor. And then and the reason I mentioned the sizing is because I think it would be difficult to sell them en masse to another organization. If our people have a hard time fitting into the chairs, I can't imagine that that's much different in other areas around the country.
Makes sense.
I think our best option is the nostalgia for, just a couple of chairs, so people use them in their homes type of thing.
How hard are they to unbolt and get ready to move?
I'm looking at Justin because he helped with that process.
It's not easy, huh?
They're not terrible. We had to buy a special square head that we could use to impact instead of manually doing all the bolts out of them. They're not terrible. I mean, you do the bolts and then you can take them apart, like she said. On the backs of the chairs, there's one bolt that goes through the chair in the actual seat, and in the back of the chair is where you unbolt them at, and you would just decide. Recently, we took one row out of about 9, and we're like, what's this smarter? Let's take these in like groups of 3 or 4, so it's a little easier to maneuver. So they're not too bad. We did the top row and the top row on the east and west where the curtains are going. We did both of those, and there was 4 of us, and an hour and a half. So it's not that bad.
It's sad to see those chairs being removed because they are part of the history of the municipal building. At the same time, we've only received positive responses from people who see us using the municipal building again. And if we want to use it to its fullest capacity, we're gonna have to remodel that gallery area with seating that is newer.
Well, seeing the Frasers here, could we gift, if they want them, a few to the Historical Society? I don't know if you would want any of those,
I'll inquire about it.
because it is historical for Pratt.
No, I love that, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 600 plus in there. so
You got
I'm sure
plenty.
I'm sure we could spare to give them a few if they wanted a few.
Okay. Well, Cody, do we have any legal limitations, or do we?
This is similar to when we had those obsolete condensers come up on what to do with those. The chairs, they're similar. They're obsolete at this point, and they're personal property. So, I mean, really, the city has a lot of power in what it wants to do with them. It doesn't have to, bid out anything or publicize anything. On this, I would just say, if you wanted to do a motion to declare the chairs as obsolete property, and then approve a sale, you can set an amount if we think we know what a range is for what each chair might sell for. If you did that in advance, it'd make it easier just as they came in and people purchased them, it would fit within whatever range you all wanted to set for those. And I think that'd be the most streamlined way to deal with it.
Cody, could we do an approval of a silent auction at the New Year's Eve event?
Yeah, I think that would be fine, as long as they declare that it's obsolete property and really has no value to the city at this point, and then just basically something on how they choose to dispose of the property, either by sale or by auction or any other means.
So how do you want me to make a motion? Put a limitation on the price, or just say tonight we're declaring those chairs obsolete and you can dispose of them at a cost, market cost?
Yeah, I wouldn't say not to exceed, because that,
No,
right, yeah.
I meant to the limit, the lowest cost.
Oh, a minimum of $20, and then, or at a fundraising auction in the future.
I could see a floor till a given date, and after that, no floor. I mean, if we set a $20 a chair floor,
Right.
and in 4 months, they don't sell, lower it to what it takes to move them.
And look into the recycling option if the iron's worth something.
Right.
Yeah, I think the only mass option that we would have is a refurbisher, where she talked about some of those major prices. That's because they take them and they refurbish them. They spend a lot of time, money. That would be our only chance at a mass one. I think it's probably a nostalgia thing. It's gonna be our best market.
I haven't had any bites in the last 4 months of reaching out to the people that seem to be doing the big projects. Would you be interested in these? Make me an offer. What are these worth? I haven't had anybody bite on that. So I'm thinking the local nostalgia is the way to go to just kind of
So-
move them.
Can I make something open-ended as like they're obsolete and they can be disposed of in the most economical advantage to the city as possible?
I like that. Yeah.
I mean, because you may have to pay somebody to haul them off, so,
Yeah, that works great, I think.
okay. Are you ready, sir? Yeah. Well, I'll make a motion that we declare the 600-plus seats at the municipal building obsolete, and that the city has the flexibility to dispose of them in a manner that is most profitable to the city.
Second.
It's, it's,
You want me to repeat it for you?
no, it's been, oh gosh, this is embarrassing. It's been moved and seconded that we, oh gosh.
I'll speak for Kyle. We've been moved and seconded that we approve the the 600-plus chairs at the municipal building obsolete, and they can be disposed of by the city in the most profitable manner.
Second.
Well, it's been seconded.
Yeah, we're voting.
Yeah, we're
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
Can you?
Thank you
just-
so much.
Can you just run the meeting?
Well, sure. Thank you, Tiffany. We'll go on to 6.2. Discussion and/or approval of funding request for drum mulcher. Justin Crouch, Recreation Director.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we're looking to purchase a drum mulcher for the green trails and the Lemon Park trails. Something very similar to the one that we rented a few weeks back to get the trails back into shape. It's a little bit smaller, a little more compact, easier to use for the skid steer that we have, or that the electric department or water department has. It'll fit on that one of their Bobcats, so we can use it with the equipment we already have. We tried it out, demoed it. It worked really well for us. So now that we have green trails and lemon trails, we think it's a piece of equipment that'll save us some money in the long run as far as man hours. This machine, you basically put one person in the skid steer and let it go to work, and it takes probably 2 crews of 3 or 4 guys a week to get done what this machine can get done in a day or 2 with just one person in it. So it is expensive, $24,000, the machine, but we think it's well worth it for the man hours that it'll save and the job that it does to maintain the trails. It's able to chip the trees up into mulch, which is something that Wildlife and Parks used to go out and buy because they would lay the mulch down as the base for the trails. But with this machine, it basically does 2 in 1. It trims the stuff back. It also mulches it down, so it's a nice bed to walk on the trails as well. So I did get a quote from Vermeer out of Goddard. That's a quote that you see in the funding request packet for $24,000. I did reach out to BTI here. They do have an option that he said it's actually made by the same company as the Vermeer. Fecon is the brand. That's the same one that makes John Deere, according to Matt that I talked to, and they were a few $1,000s higher. Even with their discount, they were about $4,000 higher than the Vermeer one. So that's why I recommended that Vermeer on the packet on the funding request. That's coming out of the Special Parks and Rec Fund, which is the fund from the alcohol tax that we get. And the funding will actually be a few $1,000s more because that was a previous month account number on there. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any of them.
It's fun to operate too, isn't it?
It looked fun. We had Mike from Parks got in it. A couple of the electric department guys got in it. Basically, anyone with skid steer experience, we wanted them to run it. That way, if for some reason Parks was really tied up or Rec was really tied up, and they had a guy that could run it, or the street department, just to make sure multiple guys could run it. It's pretty easy machine to operate, it looked like, and seemed like they had a little bit of fun running it. So
What's the warranty on it?
So it's a brand new machine. He didn't get into the specifics of the warranty. I mean, I could ask him if he wanted me to, but it's a brand new machine, way cheaper than what the one that we rented was. It's a standard flow machine, but I'm not exactly sure on the warranty on it.
And you have the funds in your budget.
It's in the Special Parks and Rec budget, yes, ma'am. There's over there's like $108,000 in the last report that Terra sent out, and this will be 24. So the number that's on the funding request, there's actually going to be a few more because that's the account that gets money on a reoccurring basis. So it's a Parks and Rec fund.
Any other?
I would make a motion that we approve the funding request for the Vermeer drum mulcher for $24,000 from wherever it was from. Great Plains, Vermeer.
It's from Vermeer. They're in Goddard, Wichita area. It's a Fecon brand.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of a drum mulcher from Vermeer for the price of $24,000. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me. 6.3, discussion and/or approval of, Mike, if I'm saying this correctly, PCI DSS version 4.0 compliance policy.
Yes.
Mike
So
LeClaire.
we renewed the PCI compliance like a month or two ago, and when we did that, it's now 4.0 has been released, so we have to be in compliance with the 4.0 requirements. One of the requirements is that we adopt a policy in the city that meets the requirements that they have for the new policy. So this just kind of goes over all the new requirements and what they require us to have in the PCI policy.
And so we're in compliance with this new policy?
Yes.
We adopt it?
Yep, this new policy would be part of our PCI 4 compliance, basically.
Cody, you're okay?
Yeah, he showed it to me and I looked at it and I thought it looked good.
A lot of it lines up with the other security stuff that we already have for the computers. It just kind of goes into more detail about what's required for cardholder data environments, like what they're requiring as part of their policy as well.
I'd make a motion that we approve the PCI DSS version 4.0 compliance policy as proposed.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the PCI DSS version 4.0 compliance policy as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
That's my signal.
He voted for
Want
it.
me to continue?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone.
Okay.
My voice is gone.
Okay, moving on to 7.0. Open public comment. The public is allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Is there anybody in, Tammy? Oh, okay.
Tammy Coleman, project lead for the Hot and Cold Water Tower Gardens. And I am here because we had applied for a few grants to put in a storage shed behind the veterinary building so that we could store things for the winter, the hoses, the hose reels, our mulch, tools. And if you didn't notice, we have taken upon ourselves to start decorating that area for the different holidays. So we've been getting donations from people throughout the city for Halloween and Christmas. I can't tell you how much I have in my personal storage that is just donations to put into that garden area for different holidays. So that's what we wanted the shed for. But I'm here to present a check for $1,020 to the city of Pratt for one of the grants that were approved.
Wow, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yes, you are. That's great.
So Tammy, will that shed be on our property?
No, it will be behind the veterinary
And
office.
she's okay with that?
Yes, she has. And if
Okay.
we need to do something, she'd be willing to do it. But here's the check. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tammy. Okay, and if you'd state your name and,
My name's Chris Silva. I'm a concerned citizen here in Pratt about the sidewalk issue between the hospital and Walmart along the highway.
okay.
I wanted to know if there's anything the city of Pratt's gonna do about fixing transportation for people that are pedestrians and bicyclists.
I can't say that there's currently any plan installing sidewalk along that area, being as it's highway right away. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I can't say there's a plan right now as to putting in sidewalk along that way. It's state highway. I do know we're in the process of installing and repairing sidewalks all over town, but nothing in that specific location.
Right. I understand a lot of our business is up and down Main Street, but if you look at where everybody is traveling to go get their groceries or anything else, you can't even, there's not even an access to Dillon's even. The sidewalk ends before Dillon's gas station. There's no sidewalk in front of the hospital. It's like, how are pedestrians supposed to access 90% of our business that's on the other side of town? Unless they walk.
So, I think that that's good information and good feedback from the public, and we wouldn't know that there was a need necessarily without citizens coming to talk to us. I
True.
think this is the first time I've heard that request, so now we can talk about it as a staff and see if there's, sidewalk is expensive, so, you know, a fix would not be overnight, but it is certainly something that we can take into consideration. now that we
Absolutely.
know that
That's
there's
the
a
only
need.
reason I wanted to bring it up was, you know, a lot of people talk about all the business we have up and down Main Street, but they don't talk about the business past Main Street.
Sure.
If you go to the older part of town, which is on the west side, north side, there's plenty of sidewalks everywhere, but as soon as you go along the highway, I'm a bicyclist myself, so the only transportation I have is my own bicycle. So I either have to ride all the way down to 6th Street, cut all the way around to go to Walmart. There's a little bit of a shoulder to ride your bike, but it's mainly from the intersection where Casey's is all the way to Dillon's. It is extremely tight through there. I've had one officer pull me over and say, you need to take an alternate route. And I said, look, man, I either have to go all the way up to the cemetery up north on not so busy of a highway, but that's a long commute for a bicyclist.
Sure. Yes, you're right. You're right.
I mean, even a bike lane, I mean, just something. I know right between the Mexican restaurant and Doug Chevrolet, that is a really sketchy bridge to cross, that culvert right there. If we get any kind of snow or anything, how are you going to access a 911 call if a person doesn't even know where they are?
Yeah. So I really want to thank you for coming to the meeting and talking to us in person instead of being a keyboard warrior behind the scenes.
No, definitely not. I'd rather go to the person in charge, so.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I'm glad that you brought that to our attention. Did we get your name?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Chris Silva.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Silva.
Thank you.
And feel free to contact Jeff or I.
Yeah,
you know. We'll be
I'll look
happy
into
to-
that highway access and see
Okay.
if there's even an easement for us to provide a sidewalk along that route.
And even if I have to, as a citizen, if I have to reach out to KDOT to kind of help,
Yeah.
you know, boost it along, if I got to get a petition going, just let me know what I need to do.
I would
So that way we can make the other businesses more accessible to people that don't have transportation or can't drive a vehicle. So,
Thank you, Mr. Silva, for coming and sharing at City Hall. Anybody else? Moving on to reports. 8.1 City Manager.
Thank you, sir. So last week, Jamie, Evan, Rodney, and I went to the KMEA conference in Wichita. Jamie and I are board members, and Evan is an alternate member. And we learned a lot of upcoming information about the legislative session and current trends in the electric market, specific to municipalities. It was really sweet. I also sit on the KMU board, so KMEA is Kansas Municipal Energy Agency. KMU is the Kansas Municipal Utilities. And I was approached by one of the directors of the KMU board, and he asked me if I would sit on the panel next year at the next KMU conference. And so it always encourages me when people see Pratt as a leader in the market. So I wanted to share that with you. There was an economic development meeting last week, and so Kyle joined me at that, and so did Tiffany. I also was able to, not last weekend, but the weekend before that, the firefighters were very patient and let me join them when they installed lights at Sixth Street Park and their pancake feed. We are just so blessed to have the first responders that we have. And they were very kind and welcoming. So we're continuing with our weekly meetings on the Point Pavilion with architects and engineers. Justin even had some meetings today to discuss HVAC issues, and I'm sure he can expound on that. I met with Linda Lannerman today with Joe to discuss some concerns out at the college with some security issues, and then also while she was here, she confirmed that she would like to lead the first day hike out of the Green Trails. PCC will sponsor that, so we're going to work with them to make sure that there's restroom access and make sure that she's got everything she needs. The Christmas in the Park, annual Christmas in the Park, is this coming weekend at Lemon Park from 3 to 5:30. I'll be driving the Lions Club train like last year. The City of Pratt Christmas party has been scheduled. It's going to be at the Elks, and we have already Bree and Tiffany got together earlier and discussed menus, and it's going to be a good time, and so we would like you to join us, of course, the commissioners. Also, the county has requested a joint city-county commission meeting, and that is scheduled for Monday, December the 1st, 2025 at noon. Gary asked if we could have that meeting held here since the last couple were held out at the county building. Would you reach out to Sesha and see if the county commission would be
I will ask.
Okay with that?
I know they have their regular meeting scheduled at 2 o'clock, and that was their one concern, was to ensure that we were done by that time frame.
Oh, okay, so
I would imagine a noon start though should be fine.
okay, if you'll make the request.
Yes.
You know, because Gary has made that request.
Do you want to bring up the workshop?
Yes, we do need to schedule our end of year workshop before the end of year where we where we welcome the incoming commissioners and also hear from outgoing commissioners what went well, what they would recommend. We discuss what we did well during the year, what we could have done better, what we intend to do in the future, and discuss any pertinent issues. At times we've done new commissioner training if somebody is unfamiliar with municipal law at those meetings. So
When do you want to do that?
It all depends on what our schedules are.
Oh,
Kyle, when do you want to do it during Christmas break? Is that right?
Yeah, I would like to, yes. But if not, sorry. If not, it's fine. Gosh, this is embarrassing.
Is your last day at school December 19th?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what the availability of the commissioners is. Gary, do you have family coming into town the week of Christmas or New Year?
We're hopeful. It's a busy time when families scattered, so it's as many as we can get together at one time. That's probably going to be up in the air for a while.
And so do you have any tentative dates?
No, I mean, we try to schedule around those that have jobs and responsibilities. We're pretty fluid, but when they're in several states wide, makes it a little difficulty.
Is your December 19th a whole day, a full day?
Half a day.
What if we did the second half of that day?
That's perfectly fine for me.
Would
Friday
December,
the 19th?
would that work for you, Gary?
What day is that?
It's a Friday.
Yeah. If we would, or, as far as I know, but I can't promise, because, like I said, there's families involved, and time is short. Yeah, I think it will probably work on the night.
Will that give you enough time? Half a day?
What, do you get out at 11?
I get out at 11:30.
So if we did a working lunch at noon
That's
and
fine.
then went forward?
Yeah.
I think that would give us 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do noon.
So December 19th. Well, you said out,
That's a Monday, you say?
It's a Friday, Gary.
Oh, Friday.
December the 19th.
will you send us a reminder? And also, will you send us a reminder of the joint city-county meeting? So we don't?
Please.
When we get the location too, I'll.
Okay.
But it
All right.
will be 1 o'clock. Right? No, noon.
No.
Noon
Noon.
on the 1st.
Right.
Brad, will that work for you?
I think so, yes.
Okay, if not, let me know. If we need to, revisit the date, then we can. Unless there's any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you. City Attorney. Oh, no, I went out of order. Well, I'm going by the order of this.
It does go out of
Okay,
order.
City Attorney.
Sure. I don't have too much. I do have a lot that I've been working on, and we'll be getting to you probably at the next meeting. But other than that, yeah, that's all I have for tonight.
Any questions for Cody? Okay, Department Superintendents, Public Works.
I don't have much, being as I just got back from vacation. Josh is in the process of hiring one more guy to put him at full staff before leaf pickup begins in 2 weeks. I talked to Danny. They're as prepared for this weekend as they can be. All the bathrooms in the parks have been winterized, so that's no longer an issue, including the trailer at Green Trails. I got a quote back from one of the pool painters for the colored portion of the pool. It's recommended that that's redone every 4 to 5 years. And this is just a tentative estimate. First bid was approximately $28,000, and that's all the blue, black, red, everything that's not white all the way around the pool, because the UV degrades that colored paint much faster than the white paint. So we'd be looking at repainting the entirety of the pool in another 7 years. So they say it's 10 years on the white paint, 5 years on the colored paint. So, and this is just a budgeting number so we can prepare for it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So what day is the last day of compost?
Thanksgiving Day
Thanksgiving.
for compost, but then they do 2 weeks of leaf pickup? I think so.
Okay.
I would make sure we put an announcement out there or something.
We will. And compost is on the bills year round, but we do like a little flyer. As a reminder, we'll probably send it out at the end of this week, maybe.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. No, Robert Walker, you have anything? Oh, ill, okay.
He came to our department head meeting this morning and we invited him to leave because he was still sick.
Okay. He's a tough guy. He must have been pretty, okay. Jamie.
I don't have a whole lot for you tonight, but, the diesel generators and Caterpillars are still on track for the first 3 to be delivered mid-summer. So we met with, they had Caterpillar had a booth at this conference that we were at last week, so we spent a lot of time talking to them about it. The engineering firm that's putting them in has been out several times in the last 2 weeks, getting different, measurements for not only the power plant, but they're also doing that substation project, that we got grant funded for, so they're doing both and getting a lot of information. I think right after the first year, we'll start seeing a lot more action going on, and,
Thank you. Questions? Any? Okay. Justin?
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, the curtains at the municipal building started getting put in today. The last week or two, we've been working on the prep for that, scraping a few areas, cleaning those window sills up as best we could without getting too carried away, since the windows are going to be getting replaced soon. So we just did a little cosmetic cleanup to make sure none of the curtains got dirty with all the old cement and stuff chipping. We scraped the wall a little bit and put some fresh paint or Kills, so it's all white now. It looks a lot better, a lot cleaner up there from the gym floor as you look up. We did get a little bit of sod put in on Angood Field at Lemon Park where PCC softball plays. Just a little from the dirt to about 9 feet around. That lip area was Bermuda, weeds, patchy. So we cut all that out and then laid fescue sod to match the rest of the outfield. So been watering that, getting it set in, so that's done. Some of the guys out at Green are doing some winter projects. They're painting, getting some of those downtime projects knocked out there at the complex, and they also have been helping at the municipal building as well with some of the projects there. We had our PCC basketball clinic. We started that this year. Had a great turnout last week for the first night. We had 40 kids for that first night. And so there's 3 more nights of that this Thursday, and then take a week off, and then 2 more in December. So that was a good turnout for us. As Mr. Gina said, we have point meetings every Wednesday, the whole group, all the engineers, architects, construction, trying to get that project moving along, and we're starting to narrow it down and really get to the plans start to happening, answer all their engineer questions and architect questions, and where they can formulate their plan and get with the city staff to make sure we're on the same page. So that's going forward. And I did have a meeting today with the HVAC engineer, with a local contractor, to try to get us a little more insight on the best path moving forward. So there's a lot of moving parts with that, but we're moving in the right direction. I did also reach out for some quotes on municipal building doors, the exterior glass doors in the front and the sides, getting some quotes back on those. So we may be coming forth with a plan to replace the doors at the municipal building. We'll see where the budget lines up. And just to make y'all aware of that, we may come forth with that in the near future.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Well, and so the funding for that, the commission had approved for $100,000 for roof replacement. The municipal building has 7 roofs, and we thought that one of them was still in need of being replaced, and Justin and Eric had a couple of different roofing companies come and give an assessment, and one of them was, did provide a quote, and the other one came and said, I'm looking at the roofs, and they've all been replaced reasonably recently. There was one that is older than the others, but he said it's not leaking, it's still in good shape. But since we had budgeted the dollars to replace the roof, and it's in one of the accounts that's use lose, it doesn't carry over. It would carry over into the general fund as a cash balance, but there's a lot of needed repairs at the municipal building, and so Justin and Eric were looking to see, okay, what is the next most important thing to address, and that's why they were looking at going ahead and, instead of using the money to replace the roof, which isn't needed, looking at the doors, which is needed.
Makes sense.
The municipal building is being used much more.
It is, yes.
Yep, between all the different major events with the concerts and things like that, and then the amount of rentals that use the municipal building, whether it's large events like we had our pancake feed or the turkey dinner, or the day before the pancake feed we had a event in there with almost 400 people. It's a very highly used venue that we're trying to refurbish and get back tip-top shape.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, Chief Fuller.
Thank you, sir. Our new handheld radios are in, and Patrick Peterson has them to be programmed. Hopefully, we can get them out to our guys this week. We did take delivery on that 2020 Dodge Challenger for our DARE SOR car. Sergeant Gipple's working with Tyson Taylor for design for logos and printing on that. We're still waiting on a release from DARE America so we can use their logos on that unit. We did have Unit 2201. Officer Stats was returning from Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center in Hutchinson and struck a deer around Turon. So it had to be towed back to the city of Pratt, but it's not a totaling strike. We're getting estimates for repair on that currently. Our old Unit 20 is still at Taylor Printing to get new door wraps on that. It should be done this week as well. We do have several new dispatchers that have been hired by Director Landwehr that are in training currently. Some other training events. Since the last meeting, we did night qualifications on firearms, shotguns, and rifles, as well as defensive tactics for all officers. And we have Officer Warman attending CIC training, and dispatchers are attending training in Salina tomorrow. And besides that, I'm just playing catch up from being gone, guiding deer hunters for the last several days. Questions for me? Other than that, I'm good.
Okay, Gary? Okay. Okay, thank you, Chief. Chief Hoffman?
Thanks, sir. Yeah, don't have a whole lot. Pretty much everything that we're doing is going to go look at the new truck coming up, do the final inspection on it. We'll be leaving first thing in the morning. Myself, Eric Welch, and Matt Calloway will all be running up there to do the final inspection on that. So, and then we'll get that back in. I didn't bring it up this morning, but the doorway, looking at widening that doorway to the north on that bay, we've been trying to get the quotes back for that. Haven't got anything back for it yet. We should have enough room to stack trucks in there. Maybe move one of our rescue squads out there, our water squad 3 that we have, just for brush fires and things like that. We'll probably just move that out of the way, and then we'll be able to stack the new truck in there until we get that other doorway opened up. So it's been on my mind to try to get that thing done, but it's kind of hard to get somebody contracted to come in and look at it and get some quotes. So other than that, we had our pancake feed this last Saturday or Sunday. During noon, I do believe seen a few there. I was working back in the kitchen, so I didn't get to see a whole lot of people. So, but we had a really good turnout for that and raised just a little over $3,000 for that. So
it was good. I got there late because we had a church potluck, but they fixed me up a nice little take home, and we had sausage and pancakes for dinner. So
there you go. Yeah,
they were
yeah,
good.
It worked out really well.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. So,
anything for Chief?
thank you.
Cody's done. Nothing else? Bree?
I just wanted to draw your attention to, I put something in the miscellaneous about the website. We found a new notification feature where if anyone visits the website, a pop-up comes up, and it notified people that we were closed, so our offices were closed on Thanksgiving, and it worked really well. Set it up to end at 11:59 p.m. on November 11th for Veterans Day, and yeah, it's just a really nice feature. So hopefully it'll notice as many of the public as possible, in addition to our Facebook posts, our signage on the front door, and things like that. And that's all I have to share.
So we're closed Thanksgiving, but are we still working on Friday?
No, it's in the personnel handbook that,
Good, okay.
that Friday is always off.
Good.
And you're also getting half a day on Wednesday, right?
Correct, yeah. We are releasing all the
Good.
employees, the non-essential personnel at noon on Wednesday.
Perfect. Good. Okay, you want to tell me what to say, or you have nothing? Okay. I have nothing.
Nothing.
Gary, do you have anything?
No, but thanks for letting me in on it.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Okay, well, does anybody have anything else? Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Okay.